Alright, what's up guys? We're back for episode 2 of learning Megaminx PLL. This time we'll be going over the cases with only the corners, and there's 15 in this one. Alright, so the first case that we'll be doing is A1, and because most of, if not all of the algorithms in this video aren't the same as 3x3, I'll just be putting them on screen as I do them to show you how to do them as well. So we'll start with A1 here. Well, both of the A1s will have this huge block, and it's just 3 cycles of corners that are all like next to each other like this. So A1, if we have this block here, the 2 headlights will be in the back. So both of them, we're going to want to hold the headlights on the left. So for this one, it's going to look like this. Alright. Now, A1 minus. Again, the headlights go on the left. This time, we'll be having the block right in the front here instead of in the back like the other one. It's just the same algorithm but backwards. Alright, so the next cases are A2, which kind of look like maybe a Y of corner, 3 cycles. It's kind of like this. We won't have any huge blocks, but we have like some 2x2s on the side here with all the edges solved. So start with A2 plus, which the way I recognize these is I look at these 2 corners, and if these colors don't match, we have A2 plus, which will look like this. Alright, then A2 minus, these corners will be matching, and it looks like this. Alright, the next 3 cases we have are the E-perms. We have E1, E2, and E3. There's 3 of them. Don't be scared though, because they're actually kind of easy to recognize. So we'll move these off to the side. We'll start with E1. I just look at it if we have these colors that are like, these 2 are the same on this, or, yeah, this is kind of how I see it. So there you go. The E-perms are all just 2 swaps of 2 corners. So E1 is these 2 and these 2. So the algorithm will look like this. Alright, now E2, we'll have these 2. These 2 stickers will be this color. So it swaps these 2 pieces and these 2 pieces. So I hold it like this with these swaps in the back. You could do the same algorithm 3x3 where it kind of looks like, starts like that, but I like to do this one because it's a little easier to execute. And the last one is E3. This one's really easy to recognize. You just have 2 headlights. It swaps these corners and these corners. So it's also really easy algorithm, luckily, and it looks like this. Or you could do backwards like this. I like to do this way. Alright, now we have the H1 perms, which are pretty easy because they're just like 2 U perms. The way I recognize it, I like to solve all the corners. You could look at it as a clockwise or counterclockwise edge cycle, or you could look at it as a corner cycle that goes the other way. I like to do an edge cycle, even though this is a video about the corner permutations. I like to do edges. I like to make it look like an edge cycle just because the alg is, well, pretty much 2 edge cycles. even though it still has corners. But anyway, for H1 plus, I'm assuming you know the U-perms. It's pretty much two U-perms, but you'll do different U-perms depending on which case you get. So for H1 plus, where the edges have to go clockwise in a circle like this, you'll do the U-perm to bring this edge to the front here. And do a U-prime, and you just have that case again. Really easy. And then for H1 minus, similar concept. This edge will have to go back to here, so you'll do that U-perm, do a U, and then you have that U-perm again. Really easy. Pretty fast too. Alright, next up we have H2. These ones are pretty similar to the ones before, where you can look at it as a cycle of edges that kind of go in like a star pattern. So like this. Or you could look at a corner cycle that's similar. This one I like to do edges instead of corners, just so recognition's a little easier, I guess. Well, at least for me. Might be different for you. But we'll start with H2 plus, which I recognize that the headlights in the front go to the back right here. So what we're going to do, it's pretty much two soons that just use like R2s. So the first one will be like, it'll look like this. So this big anti-soon. You know you're doing the right one if you see a 2x2 block here. And then you rotate so that this is in the back here. And do like a big soon like that. Now for H1 minus, it's a really similar concept. And if these headlights on the front, if they go to the back left, you're just going to do the inverse of the alg we did before. Again, you know you're doing the right one. If you have this 2x2 here, you put it in the front. Just like that. Alright, the next ones are actually really easy algorithms, even though the recognition may look impossible at first. But there's actually a really easy way to recognize this. It does take like a second or two to see, but then it's pretty easy once you figure it out. So we'll start with K1 plus here. These are the K1s if I didn't mention already. But yeah, this is K1 plus. The way I like to look at it, so if you have all of your edges solved, two of your corners will be adjacent swaps, or they'll move to adjacent positions, and all the other ones are opposite, I guess. So you look for those two. So we have this one which goes to here, and this one which goes to here. So you'll be holding one of those two swaps in the front and the other one in the back right here. And if this corner has to go to the left slot, we'll do this algorithm. Do U2s in the same direction as the first U2 goes in the same direction as to move. And the rest will look like that. And then K1 minus, similar concept. Again, look for the two corners that have to move to their adjacent positions. So again, I have it set up really easily. This one goes to here and this one goes to here. And yeah, again, they go in the front and in the back right here. So this one will have to go to the right. So we'll do the U2 prime because it goes in that direction at the beginning. And that's K1. All right, now we have K2 for our last one here. Which, unlike K1, is actually pretty easy to recognize. You'll have a 5 cycle of corners and 2 sets of headlights here, like this. So we're going to look for, you'll put the headlights, it doesn't matter where you put the headlights. Well, it kind of does, but we'll get to that in a second. Anyway, you'll have an outlier corner here. It's like this one will go to there, this one will go to there. So start with K2 plus, where the outlier goes to this left position. You're going to hold like this with one of the headlights in the front and one of them in the back right. And you'll do this algorithm. Make sure you have a nice grip with these 2 fingers available because there's a lot of U2 primes in this. Otherwise, it would be all awkward like this, which will cost you a little bit of time. Then we have K2 minus, which is a totally different algorithm, even though it's a very similar case. So again, this corner will have to go to this right slot here. We'll just hold it like this, so the corner is right in the front here, on the front left. So then we'll do, look like this. We'll cancel into a T-perm here. And those are all of our corner-only PLLs. Again, 15 of them. Some of them are pretty easy. Just the recognition can get a little interesting on some of them. But yeah, that's about it. Stay tuned for the next one, which will be edges only. See you later.